In this video, I'm going to show you how to finish off the back of your embroidery hoop. For this, you'll need the following supplies. You'll need a finished hoop, your needle and thread, felt, and fabric glue. To start, thread your needle and get a knot in it. I like to double over my thread so that it is extra sturdy when I run it through the back of the fabric and I pull on it, because we will be pulling on your thread. Next, pick any spot in the circle of your fabric, and BT dubs, make sure that you cut your fabric in a circle. And all you're going to do is you are going to put in a either long running stitch or what we also call a basting stitch. And you're just going to do that around the entire circle, that outside circle of fabric. To save a little bit of time, rather than do each stitch individually, as you can see, I'm working multiple stitches at the same time. I highly recommend doing this. It makes it so much easier to do. And of course, you may get your thread tangled in and amongst your hoop, but that's okay. Now when you get to the end, what you're going to want to do is pull your thread pretty taut. And this is why doubling over your thread is really important. You don't want to pull too hard, otherwise you can break your thread, but you do want to pull hard enough that it gathers all that fabric together and lays it flat. Next, run your needle through the closest ruffle and knot it off. You're going to run your needle underneath of the loop that you just made. And by pulling it the opposite way, you're actually putting tension onto that knot, which will end up making it tighter and less likely to pull out. And again, you run it through that ruffle again, through the hoop, make it a knot. And once again, I'm knotting off to make sure that I have a good solid knot there. Your next step is going to be to trace out the backing felt. I recommend using felt. It's nice, it's sturdy, it's pretty. So I'm going to take the inside hoop from my embroidery hoop and I'm going to trace around the outside. That'll give me a good size for the back of my hoop, not so big that it's going to poke out the edges so that I can see it from the front, but enough that it covers the entirety of the back of my finished hoop. And by the way, if you don't have a second hoop that is the exact same size, definitely do this before you sew your fabric into your hoop. And here I am just cutting out the shape. Next, what you'll want to do is you want to take your backing felt and double check to make sure that it does fit, it is the right size. Yep, this is going to work just fine for us. Next, take some fabric glue, I like tacky glue, and you're going to run a bead of glue around the entire outside edge, just on the inside of the actual hoop itself. Be generous with your glue, you don't want that backing felt to come off later. Now you're going to take that backing felt, and I'm going to put the side that has the marker side down so that I don't see it when it's finished. I'm going to lay it down on top of that glue, and I'm just going to kind of smush it in so that that glue attaches itself to not only the fabric but also the felt. You can see I'm working it around, checking it in multiple places just to make sure that it's going to work the way that I want it to. And that's it. Look at how beautiful that looks. Finished, easy, and it works, and I don't see it from the front side, but it covers the back side to protect it.